Register Simcoe identity.
Hail and well met, my fearless Crusader brethren. I am Nova Captain Untitled Chapter. We are continuing on the Clan Jade Falcon campaign, mission Rust Heart. Sounds interesting. Take a look at our mission briefing. Wolf is attempting to re-enter the city of Borealtown, Wotan. We are busy preparing another defense. The enemy has cut our supply lines, which must be rebuilt at all costs. A convoy of munitions is en route to a forward firebase north of the city. The convoy must reach the firebase in order to provide a safe resupply point for our troops to the south. Sounds like convoy escort duty to me. Codename Rust Heart, planet Wotan. Terrain, geographic anomaly, crystalline forms. Time, dawn. You are to meet the convoy at Nav Delta, taking over from the previous escort unit, who will soon prove to be useless as always. Escort the convoy to the firebase at Nav Epsilon. The planet's geography will make combat difficult. However, no enemy interdiction forces have been reported in the area, and LR scans report nothing. Intelligence reported intelligently. Objectives: the primary, escort the convoy to the firebase at Nav Epsilon. Secondary, destroy all enemy units encountered. Tertiary, destroy any targets of opportunity. Return at dust-off site Nav Zeta. As always, no enemy resistance is expected to be encountered, so we will expect to not encounter any enemy resistance, he said, hopefully. Situation! Goodness gracious, more text. Falcon Van Chistu listened as the Falcon Scouts reported the progress of Ulrich and his star. Everything was in place. Ulrich seemed to have fallen for the trap, and now nothing would be able to stop Chistu's plans. He thought back to the conversation he had with Khan Kreichel just over an hour ago. Kreichel thought that challenging Ulrich had been a mistake. If Chistu were defeated, the Wolves would win the trial of refusal, and everything the Falcons had fought for would be for naught, the aging Falcon Khan had said. The Grand Council might even elect a Wolf as Ilkhan. Oh no, Kreichel had raved. Said and raved. He sounds like he's making all kinds of noise. Why isn't he screeching? He's a Falcon after all. As usual, Chistu calmed the older Khan and assured him that every precaution had been taken to ensure that Ulrich could not win. Everything is proceeding according to plan, just like the bad guys always say. Chistu was shaken from his thoughts when a scout reported that Ulrich's star was making its way into the magistracies area. Magistracies area. He quickly punched the buttons to the left of his communication console and focused his attention on the small monitor screen above his executioner's instrument array. The monitor showed the running fights that were so common during urban engagements. Mechs darted in and out of streets and buildings, leaving destruction in their paths. He watched intently as the Wolf Star entered view. Ulrich was as good a MechWarrior as the clans produced, perhaps one of the best. The precautions had been taken. Precautions that would ensure victory for the Falcons. I wonder if precautions have been taken. Let's see. How many times does that have to use a precaution? 1, 2, 3. Probably more as we go along. Yes! Soon the refusal war would end, and Falcon Van Chistu of the Jade Falcons would emerge as the ultimate victor! The ultimate warrior! He would kill Ulrich Kerensky, leader of the Wolf Clan, leader of the Wardens, architect of the Truce of Tukayed. All the glory Kerensky had gained would fall to Van Chistu, and the Falcon would become the logical choice to lead the clans to victory on Terra. Yeah, good luck with that, Van. Situation! As Wolf Omni Fighters streaked out of their dropships toward the city of Borealtown, the city seemed to come to life. Beams of ruby, emerald, and sapphire light stabbed into the sky, and soon the sound of explosions, next page, rocked the night. Within minutes, small spots of bright orange flame appeared in the darkened city streets, marking the spots where the fighters' bombs had struck, or possibly the most awesome Iron Maiden concert ever! In the rolling hills outside the darkened city, waves of Wolf dropships landed and unleashed their cargo of mechs. Within minutes, Wolf Omni-Mechs had reached the city and began to slug it out with the Falcon mechs that hid behind the empty buildings and darted through the narrow avenues. In the middle of the chaos, a star of Wolf mechs circled one of their own and made their way into Borealtown. The group of mechs met little resistance as they made their way to the heart of the city. The area was built on the highest point in the city and provided a spectacular view of the once thriving metropolis, but the MechWarriors did not notice. Then they reached a ring of buildings and encountered a lone Jade Falcon executioner, appropriately named. they had found their prey. That would be Vander von Chistu waiting to meet Ulrich Kerensky in this circle of quote-unquote equals. But we know how that ends because we've already played through the Wolf campaign. Very interesting. And a very vivid description of urban combat in a occupied metropolis. Keep in mind that all of this combat is taking place in the Jade Falcon occupation zone, which means that these are all civilians of the inner sphere that are being caught in the collateral damage and slaughtered in large numbers, and their homes destroyed and things. And I'm sure that the Jade Falcons will not be too eager to pay for reparations to rebuild their buildings. So it's always a good idea to keep in mind the ramifications of the warfare that happens. And although MechWarrior 2 is not particularly a graphically intensive program, it does do a very good job of showing lots of destroyed urban landscapes and fires and things and burnt out buildings with the technology that it had available. Anyway, let's go. We have to escort a convoy, so we will not be using this Warhammer because we're going to need something faster. So we're going to use the good old Timberwolf, as usual. We're going to use... I think this should be a good configuration because we're going to have difficulty targeting at long ranges. The enemy should be approaching us from short range in ambushes to ambush our convoy, and we won't be able to target them easily with all the crystals in the way. So let's use this mech. This is a good layout with 4 Streak SRM-6s and a very slew of lasers. So we'll accept that. I believe we do get a star mate on this mission, so we will load up FPS Shazly. And I'm going to give him the fast Mad Dog that I made earlier, because I want him to be able to spread out on this mission and attack at will and operate his own ranges, and with a movement rate of 6.9, or with a 360 XL engine, which equate to 96 kilometers per hour, I should say. That will give him enough speed to spread out and then link up back with our position. So make sure we have our appropriate layouts. I'll actually change the formation for once. Yeah, let's do that. Line astern. That should be good. Okay. Let us head into the crystalline, anomalous forms of Wotan and hope this works well.